Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 4 of the Callous Mind Live Cast. I hope everybody's doing well out there today, and welcome to the month of October 2020, fourth quarter. Man, who would have believed that this year would have been so damn terrible? But it has been, and but we're here now. We're almost through it. Thank God for small favors. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the results of my Week 3 NFL picks. They were pretty terrible, actually, compared to the previous week. But you know, what the hell are you gonna do? Because you're gonna have those things happen. So, all right. Let's see, I'm not seeing that file in there. That's so weird. Alright, well, let me try this another way here then. Go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll. Alright. Okay. Alright, guys, bear with me here. I'm having to adjust my setup. I actually did switch machines this week, so um, that's kind of what's going on with what's causing the problem. So just bear with me here, and we'll get over here to it. Alright, well, I'm not able to see this. I'm not watching it on YouTube. Let me go ahead and pull this thing up in another window. You can see that I'm very ill prepared today. So I actually was hoping I'd be a little better prepared, but alright, well, I'm not I see on my screen what I wanted to see. So alright, so my week 3 picks, 10 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. I was probably one of the few people who picked the Cincinnati Bengals to win, and even though they didn't win, they did at least tie, so that's getting them closer to victory. And I'm sure that Cincinnati fans are encouraged by the play of Joe Burrow, and if they're not, they should be, because the guy looks like he was, the right pick for them at number 1, and he's playing well enough to win. And as a matter of fact, as we'll see later, I believe I'm picking not Cincinnati. Sorry, Cincinnati. Picking Cincinnati and Joe Burrow to win in week 4. But let's go ahead and run through these other week 3 picks here. So I said 10 wins, 5 losses, 1 tie. Jacksonville, right away they lost for me to the Dolphins on Thursday night. That's pretty damn embarrassing. Chicago Bears win. Nick Foles comes in, saves the day, and so that's why they got Nick Foles. That's why they got Nick Foles, the Bears, and they won. Buffalo beat Los Angeles. Man, I tell you what, I was feeling good early on in that game when I saw Buffalo with a big lead. Then the Rams came back and made it a hell of a game, and then Buffalo ended up winning. So that was probably one of the better games of the week right there. Cleveland Browns over the Washington football team. Tennessee Titans over the Minnesota Vikings. that game was very, very nerve-wracking for me. I thought for sure that Tennessee was going to bite me in the ass. Minnesota, I'd been picking them, and then I didn't this week, and then they gave Tennessee hell. Uh, See, the Raiders lost at New England, and that was a tough pick, and that game just got uglier and uglier as it went on. I was really, really disappointed in the Raiders' performance in that game. Even though I know it's a tall task going to Foxborough and beat New England, I still thought the Raiders could have been up to the task, but they were not, and New England gets another win. San Francisco 49ers win over the New York Giants. That's not that big of a surprise. Cincinnati and Philly, it was a battle of who wanted it the least, and they ended in a tie, which is unbelievable. And once again, Philadelphia, man, I feel for their fans because Philly just seems to be having a rough season right now. So let's see here. Houston and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers just keep on winning. No big surprise there. Indianapolis Colts over the New York Jets. Not a huge surprise. Los Angeles Chargers lose to the Carolina Panthers. That was a bit of a surprise to me, but it's the NFL and anything's possible on any weekend. I think that we all know that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Denver Broncos. No big surprise there. Denver's really struggling at quarterback, and I think Drew Lock's still going to be out for another couple of weeks. So I think I don't expect the season to get much better for Denver, to be really honest. Arizona Cardinals lose a stinker at home to the Detroit Lions. Man, that's just such crap. I can't believe it. But there's just something about the Lions that they always seem to play the Cardinals tough. And in this case, they played them tough, controlled the ball down to the final seconds, kicked the winning field goal, game over. Cardinals lose. So, sucks, but we'll just try to get them next time. Dallas at Seattle. That was another great game. And I thought for a minute or two that Dallas might pull it out there, but Seattle held on. They win and just keep on stomping. New Orleans Saints, they got pretty well handled at home by the Green Bay Packers, which is, wow, that's the Saints, man. These are just not the same Saints from a year or two ago. I just don't know if they have the same fire or what the hell is missing, but man, they got to be losing their minds down there. Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City won. No real big surprise there. I don't think any of us are super surprised by that. The reality is that, the Kansas City Chiefs are ridiculous, and they're probably going to steamroll most teams they play. So, let's see here. Week 4 picks. Alright, so week 4, I am taking the New York Jets to win at home against the Denver Broncos. I'm taking Chicago to win at home over Indianapolis. We'll see if Nick Foles can maintain his magic and maintain that starting job. So I'll go ahead and pick the Bears at home. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. I've been hit and miss with Jacksonville. I'm actually picking Cincinnati to win at home against Jacksonville. Cleveland at Dallas. I think Dallas, even though they didn't win against Seattle, they played themselves proud. If there is such a thing as a moral victory, they had one, I think, against Seattle. and so I think they will handle Cleveland at home, taking Dallas to win at home against Cleveland. New Orleans at Detroit. Man, New Orleans is just, they're so weird because you don't know what the hell you're going to get from week to week. And even though Detroit just did beat the Cardinals here in Arizona, I will go ahead and pick New Orleans at Detroit. Seattle at Miami. I think Seattle should handle that game fairly easily, so I will take Seattle to win at Miami. Los Angeles Chargers versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll take the home team. Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will defeat the Los Angeles Chargers, formerly known as the San Diego Chargers. Baltimore Ravens at Washington football team. Oh man, this is just going to be essentially. I mean, it might not be played in Baltimore, but Washington. If Baltimore has a second home, it would be Baltimore, or Baltimore has a second home, it would be Washington D.C. So I will take the Baltimore Ravens to defeat the Washington football team. Arizona Cardinals at Carolina Panthers. This really depends on what team shows up. I'm hoping the team that can win shows up for the Arizona Cardinals, and I will take Arizona to go on the road and beat the Carolina Panthers. Minnesota at Houston. This is just kind of a coin flip toss-up. I mean, I've been picking Minnesota, then I didn't pick Minnesota. Now I'm going to pick Minnesota because they actually had a strong showing last week. So I'm going to take them on the road to win at Houston. New York Giants at Los Angeles Rams. The Rams just played a silly, ridiculous game with the Buffalo Bills last weekend. It was, good game, entertaining game, and their offense seems to be pretty strong. So I will go ahead and take the Rams at home against the New York Giants. New England at Kansas City. Kansas City just seems like a juggernaut. They seem like they're ridiculous and off the chain, and I don't really see that changing against New England. The game may be a little closer than what it was, against the Ravens, but in the end, I still think Kansas City will win at home. Buffalo at Las Vegas, of course, I'm going to take my Raiders. Buffalo is a tough team, and in all honesty, if I was objectively picking that game, I would probably pick Buffalo. But since I'm a homer and I've been a Raiders fan for decades, I will pick the Raiders over the Buffalo Bills. Philadelphia at San Francisco. There's not really a doubt or question in my mind. I think San Francisco will win that game easily because Philly is just so blah, so weird. Pittsburgh Steelers at Tennessee Titans. Oh, actually, it says that's postponed. Well, I had picked Pittsburgh, but that's right. Tennessee's got the mad COVID outbreak, so. All right, so I guess I'll scratch that, and maybe they'll replay that down the road or whatever. So the Monday night, October 5th matchup, Atlanta at Green Bay. I will go ahead and take Green Bay at home in the comforts of Lambeau Field to win that game because I just don't see a reason for them to lose. But then again, who knows? I mean, but Atlanta got out to a big lead against the Cowboys, then they couldn't hold on. So I think the reality is Green Bay at home because they're ridiculous, and what can you say? They're just they've been strong. Rodgers has been playing good, so got to take the Pack at home. So, see, what do we got for the rest of the show here? Yeah, I had a few stories that I wanted to present to you guys about the NFL and other sports that happened since the last time I'd spoke to you last Thursday. So let me go over here and get into that. Let's see here. Alright, well, I don't know what the hell happened there. Let me see how I'm doing. Okay, so the first story is Ryan Fitzpatrick enters record book in leading Miami Dolphins over Jacksonville Jaguars. Fitzpatrick on Thursday night became the first NFL player since at least 1950 to record at least one victory for 6 different teams against a single opponent, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. It was an accomplishment only Fitzpatrick could achieve. After leading the visiting Miami Dolphins to a 31-13 victory at TIAA Bank Field, the well-traveled quarterback has now defeated the Jaguars as a member of the Dolphins, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans, Houston Texans, and New York Jets. So that's a pretty cool story. Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. The guy's made a ton of money as a backup quarterback who comes in and starts and seems to possess a little bit of magic, and now he's a record setter. So that's cool. Very cool. Next story. Minnesota Timberwolves guard Malik Beasley facing felony weapons drug charges. Minnesota Timberwolves guard Malik Beasley was arrested Saturday and is facing felony weapons and drug charges in Minneapolis, according to police records. Beasley, who averaged 20.7 points in 14 games with the Timberwolves after being traded to the Denver Nuggets in February, is facing felony controlled substance narcotics and felony receiving concealing stolen property charges, according to Hennepin County Jail records. So that doesn't sound very promising. But if I'm not mistaken, Minneapolis is where the city council had already voted to defund the police and abolish the police, and now residents there are complaining about a lack of police. So we'll see what happens. Always interesting. Never disappointing. And I also heard this story here. I'd actually heard it on the radio, but I'd seen it online first. How cool is this? Joe Montana wife block attempted kidnapping of grandchild. And this is from September 27th. Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana and his wife confronted a home intruder who attempted to kidnap their 9-month-old grandchild over the weekend, law enforcement officials confirmed on Sunday. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Montana told deputies that his grandchild was sleeping in a playpen on Saturday when an unknown woman entered their home in Malibu and grabbed the child. Montana and his wife, Jennifer, confronted the woman, whom authorities later identified as Sodse Dazel, tried to de-escalate the situation and ask her to give back their grandchild. After a tussle, Jennifer Montana pried the child out of Dalzell's arms, law enforcement officials said. Thank you to everyone who has reached out, the former San Francisco 49ers star tweeted. Scary situation, but thankful that everybody is doing well. We appreciate respect for our privacy at this time. Oh my gosh, man. That is just too much, boy. Too much. So, I will leave a link to those stories in the description box below for anybody who wants to go and check them out themselves. Got a question for you guys, and you can comment below if you're interested. Did any of you watch the unpresidential debate? I think that stuff's so funny. I mean, it's getting to the point where these guys ought to just strap on some gloves and go in a ring and start throwing some blows, man. Pretty entertaining. I'd be a little concerned if I was thinking about voting for Joe Biden if he's not going to talk about his plans, such as whether or not he'll pack the Supreme Court. That would be something that I'd probably want to know before voting for him. Um, I personally get tired of politicians lying for votes. I know it's kind of their thing, but uh, it's pretty crappy as a constituent to vote for somebody and then they turn around and do something completely opposite of what they said they were going to do. But that's pretty much par for the course. Um, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched live today. I do appreciate it. Please hit that thumbs up and leave a comment below. Just say hey, say I was terrible, say I was good. Leave your NFL picks for week 4, whatever you want to do. Just the comments certainly help, and I do appreciate it. And I have a couple of public service announcements before I go. One, I want to make sure that everybody gets out to vote, and to avoid not voting, please vote early if possible. I personally plan on voting next Wednesday when early voting polls open here in Arizona. And I would also like to say I want to formally welcome all the new Maricopa County residents to Arizona. If you fled here from California or any other blue state because of tyrannical COVID-19 lockdowns, then I encourage you to keep Arizona red and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. Those of us paying attention have seen an unmistakable double standard with regards to COVID-19 lockdowns, and we do not want to put those types of people in power in our beautiful state of Arizona. This has been a public service announcement from a native Arizonan. So I want to thank you all for hanging out. Those of you still watching to the bitter end, I do appreciate you. If you're watching the replay of this video, I will eventually put timestamps to sections in the description box, so you can click and go right to that section if you don't want to watch the entire thing. And so I hope you guys will join me again next week, which is Thursday, October 8th at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when we can talk about NFL Week 4 and make the NFL Week 5 picks. And I'll see if anything else comes up on my sports radar. Oh, I also have one more question before I go. I want to ask any of you who are watching the Major League Baseball playoffs, do you like the new format? Are you encouraged by that? Is that something that you'd like to see continued in the future? I haven't personally watched, but I did kind of look over the format, and it did look interesting. So I thought if there's any diehard baseball fans out there, then I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. So until next time, I hope you will all be good to yourselves and each other. Let's all remember the golden rule, and I will talk to you beautiful bastards later.